morning, DBS family. How are you guys doing today? It's awesome, isn't it? I love it. Waking up with you guys on this morning. I look forward to that every single day. Now, let's see what's happening in the headlines first. We must do that. Let's see what Kendall has for us, and then we'll come back with our features. It's Wednesday, so we've got 3. We'll be back.
Good morning. Prime Minister Philip Pierre has provided more clarity on the role of Jeremiah Norbert, the Minister for Crime Prevention, in his cabinet.
That is why I've appointed Jeremiah Norbert. Because of his experience, because he's a young person, he knows fully well the issue that young people face. He's lived it. He's been a top cop for a short time in the police force. So that's his job. He's going to work very closely with me from my office. So he can put together all these plans, because everyone has a plan. Everyone knows what we must do to reduce crime. Everyone. So Honorable Jeremiah Norbert will speak to all these people and put these plans together, and hopefully we can get a comprehensive document that will say what are the steps. Albeit it changes all the time. Albeit crime or citizen security has been an issue in St. Lucia. But now we want to concentrate and zero it, and the Minister of National Security can have time to deal with the security aspects of the country, which is resourcing the police, finding the fiscal space to resource the police, and the police can deal with the operational matters.
The Prime Minister also indicated the new portfolios of crime prevention and persons with disabilities would not form a new ministry. Meanwhile, the Minister with responsibility for persons with disabilities, Jeremiah Norbert, upbraided individuals who are insensitive to the plight of persons with disabilities. He spoke in particular about the use of designated parking spaces for persons with disabilities by able-bodied individuals. Norbert says he hopes to address this in addition to several other issues related to accessibility for the physically challenged as Minister.
99% of the time you go there, able-bodied individuals are there in the parking, and they don't allow persons who really need the parking to park. And I think it requires us as a community, as a society, as a country, to truly do some introspection. Ask yourself whether or not, you can just park on the other side where there's a parking and can walk to the supermarket, and you're going to deny somebody an opportunity. And I can say this, and I get a little emotional, that there are persons who've called me and who've gone to the supermarket and have had to go back because it was raining, and they were not able to park in a parking that was designated for them because of if it was another person with a disability, would have understood. But an able-bodied person would go park there. And then again, it goes back to the very fabric of our society, whether we respect rules and regulations in this country. And I think that's why it calls for deep introspection as a people, that we need to start with these little things. Respect these little things, and it's going to transcend into the bigger thing.
Norbert's vision encompasses not only legislative reforms but also comprehensive support systems aimed at empowering individuals with disabilities to participate in national development. A national disability policy is currently in the works. The Major Crimes Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, RSLPF, has continued investigations into the murder of 18-year-old Charles Isaiah Luke Victor of Monrepo, Mico, leading to the arrest of a 9th suspect. On Saturday, March 2nd, police officers attached to the VA4 police station apprehended one male, 29-year-old Ivanus Sylvester alias Colta of Bruceville, Vieux-Fort, on suspicion of murder. On Monday, March 4th, the Major Crimes Unit formally charged Ivanus Sylvester for the offences of murder and 3 counts of discharging firearm with intent to commit grievous harm. On Monday, February 19th, the Major Crimes Unit charged 8 individuals in connection with the death of Charles Victor for the offences including murder, discharging firearm in a public place, and grievous harm. The members of the Babonneau Minibus Association are pleading with the Ministry of Infrastructure to have the road along the Lacroix-Babonneau Hill repaired urgently. The association says conditions have been worsened by recent heavy rains and has started causing damage to some buses.
Now, when you have our vehicles, our vans going up there loaded passengers, some of the drivers has broken springs there. And it's very dangerous because if any coming down the hill with all the gravel and all the holes, sometimes if you hold brakes, right, you apply brakes. Sometimes the van just end up skidding. Now, if the driver is now not a professional or used to that road, it's a disaster waiting to happen.
He says drivers will be forced to take stronger action if the problem is still ignored by the relevant authorities. These are your top stories. Thanks for watching.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Kendall. We'll take a break now and we'll be right back. Well, we are in the month of March, and of course it's Women's History Month. We're also celebrating International Women's Day coming this Friday. This Saturday, the Toastmasters, the public service Toastmasters, is having an activity to mark or to observe International Women's Day. We caught up with one of the members. Toastmasters, not just Toastmasters, but the public service Toastmasters. This is not the first time we've interacted with Nancy here. Nancy Evelyn is the, what are you again?
Sergeant of Arms.
What's
the
that?
one responsible for planning all the events and the excitement of the club.
Oh gosh, well there's a right woman right here, because we are talking about International Women's Day. You've got an activity that is coming up this Saturday, and we want to know about it.
Okay, we have this activity on Saturday the 9th. It will be held at Bayview. Bayview is a restaurant in VG where Valles used to occupy before.
Okay.
And this is a new restaurant under new ownership, and we will be hosting the event at Bayview.
Tell me about the event. What sort of an event? Of course, what's the nature of the event?
It's an event for women. We're trying to see that the theme is leveraging women for economic empowerment.
Ooh.
Using technology.
That's heavy.
And trying to see how we could encourage women to have a very good image of themselves. Technology, we're looking at women when you online, if you have a business, how do you see yourself as a woman? How do you portray yourself? How do you portray yourself and your business to the public? And how can you grow and bloom so that you present an image that is effective and that is inclusive to all?
Right. Is there a reason why we decided to take that particular route? Are you seeing a void there where our ladies need some assistance in that department?
Well, this year the theme is leveraging and empowering women and encouraging all women to come on board. And because of that, in society we realize, for example, the way you portray yourself and the image that you portray will determine how successful you are as an individual and also your business. And therefore we're trying to encourage and stimulate young women and to try and inspire young women to portray themselves in a more positive light. Sometimes you go by the beach, for example, and you just have a swimsuit. How does that affect you? Or you naked on the beach? How does it affect and influence you and your business? So these are the type of things that we're looking at to ensure.
A guided one. In terms of the nature of the event, how do you plan to unveil all that? Do you have a panelist? Is it going to be a panel discussion? What sort of a atmosphere is going to be created?
Okay, we have two people who will be the keynote speakers. We have Joshua Venner as a technology person who would come in and give guidance, and we also have Sunita Daniel who would be coming in to do one of the keynote speeches, and then we have questionnaire, and we also have the young people creating a landscape for themselves.
Right. How long is this mission?
It starts at 11 o'clock for registration, and by 2 o'clock, 2:30, we should be done.
Right. You're targeting all women?
We targeting
no particular age group?
It's open to all women of various age groups, because of the different age groups, people could be supportive and give guidance to each other.
Right. So registration is only at the event, or you could register beforehand?
You can register before. You can register with any public service Toastmaster, and also you can also register at the event.
Right. Is there a cost?
It is only $75, and there are lots of prizes to be won.
Oh, there you go, man.
Okay,
And that's
so
the drive
we
home.
invite you to come on board. And if you can't afford, we just call us, call a Toastmaster, and we will see how best we can help you and encourage you to be part of this wonderful event.
Wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to it. If you're home, ladies, this is a call for you. Come on out. It's Saturday, yeah?
Also, gentlemen, why don't you pay? Encourage your girlfriend, your wife to attend this event. Thank you very much.
Well, you heard? Well, you hear, right? All right. Pay for the ladies to come. All right. Saturday it is. We look forward to it.
Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you again,
Thank you
Nancy.
very much.
Absolutely. In our second and third feature, we had to do a banded on one for this one because it was way too much to concentrate in a 5-minute segment, but all of the information is quite vital. So we spoke to the executive director of Carilec. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what really is Carilec all about and what role do Carilec play in all of this? You know, so we caught up with Mr. Cletus Burton, who is the executive director of Carilec, and he expanded a bit. That's our second feature and our third feature as well. Well, hi there. We're here with Mr. Cletus Burton, who is the executive director at Carilec. You hear a lot about Carilec. Carilec is just like 2 little steps away there from us. And you know, sometimes you stop short because you're hearing the name, you're seeing things, but do we really understand what Carilec is all about? What it is that they do? Why is it necessary to have a Carilec to govern, you know, communications, really? Is it communications?
Electricity.
Electricity,
right,
okay. So
right. Yes.
talk to me, Mr. Burton. How are you? Welcome.
So, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. A pleasant good day or good evening to your viewers. Firstly, the Carilec is an association, membership-based association. So we're not a regulatory body. We are like a trade association of, first and foremost, electric utilities historically. And so before, I would say 5 years ago, Carilec's byline was the Association of Electric Utilities.
Right. Is it officially sanctioned by anybody, or no, it's just a...
Right.
Is it?
So it's a regional non-profit organization, association. So it's registered in St. Lucia as a non-profit corporation. We also achieved in 2019 headquarters status with the government. So there's actually a piece of legislation called the Carilec Headquarters Agreement Act number 10 of 2019.
Right.
So under which we receive concessions and duty-free and VAT exemption from the government of St. Lucia under Headquarters Agreement.
Right.
So
what was the initial aim? What was the reason for it?
Brilliant. So 35 years ago, 9 member utilities thought that it would be useful to be more collaborative and work together in terms of capacity building, training, advocacy, advancing the interests of the electric utility sector across the region. So starting off with 9 member utilities, mostly from the Eastern Caribbean and Barbados, we now have 34 member utilities across all of the English, French, Martinique, Guadeloupe, Dutch, all of the Dutch territories. As a matter of fact, only today we have a courtesy call from the CEO of Statia, which is one of our Dutch members, and also 4 Spanish-speaking territories.
Wow.
So Puerto Rico, Punta Cana in DR, Rotan of the coast of Honduras, one of the islands, more recently one of the islands of the coast of Colombia. So we are in about 5 Spanish-speaking Caribbean territories, all of the English-speaking, Dutch, about 7, including Suriname and all of the Dutch Antilles, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, St. Eustatius, and Martin.
Well, clearly there's something really amazing happening here
so
in
it's
terms
much
of what
wider
you're doing.
than CARICOM, to put it in that sense.
Wow.
So, but more so, we shifted, we repositioned about 5 years ago, as I was saying, to be more than just electric utility focus. Because of how the market and technology is changing, because of distributed generation, we have independent power producers coming on stream. The posture was not trying to be insular. and keep out the competition, as it were. We saw what happened with the telecoms liberalization and the many battles that were fought, etc. So it was a different positioning. It was embracing the change, embracing the future. And so we restructured the entity to include a specific membership category, get this, for independent power producers.
Wow.
Who were seen as competitors to the utilities.
Right.
So we said, let's work collaboratively.
Wow.
So right now in membership, we have 8 IPPs, they're called, operating across 5 of these jurisdictions.
Wow.
And we also went further to create a seat on the board for IPPs. So it wasn't just a cosmetic change, it was fundamental to how we operate. We went to the founding document, the bylaws, created this distinct membership category for independent power producers. They now have a representation on the board of directors, both a sitting member and an alternate. So the byline now was changed from Association of Electric Utilities to an Association of Electric Energy Solution Providers.
Wow.
Now we went even further more recently to create another membership category for individual membership. Because again, the way energy is transforming, solar PV on rooftops, corporations have solar PV plants. So we said that's not just a corporate thing, right? So the individual membership category allows an individual in their own right, name and standing to be a member of Carelec.
Right.
So it's not just organizations.
Well, what does it mean to be a member?
Right.
What are the benefits that goes with that? We have 5 minutes or 5 minutes. We need to come back to you, we need a whole insight on this,
So very, from the inception, again, the benefits to membership are capacity building, networking, business development, advocacy of energy transitioning issues, legislation, regulation that needs to support the energy transitioning. We do technical studies. We do quarterly tariffs to compare tariff rates across the membership.
Right.
We do a benchmarking platform to compare performance across 65 KPIs, key performance indicators, across 20 of our participating members. Our flagship program is actually called CDAP, the Carelec Disaster Assistance Program. So we have a mutual disaster assistance program where 27 of our members contribute to a fund. And if any one of them is disaster stricken, we coordinate a coordinated response from all utilities. And that has worked fantastic over the years, right? So if in the case of Irma and Maria, we would deploy line workers from across the membership to ramp up the restoration effort in that utility. So that's one of the major benefits of membership to the utility members.
Wow.
It's proven really useful in times of post-disaster recovery. And the beauty of it too is that because they pay a small amount into a membership fund every year, when they are requiring of assistance, there's negligible expenditure because the assistant utilities provide the manpower free of cost. So they deploy their line crews under their payroll. So Loose Leg, Barbie, all the other would send workers and pay them.
Right.
Under the regular payroll.
Okay.
And the fund would pay for the expenditures, airfare, moving equipment, etc.
Wow.
And so the affected utility that's receiving the assistance would just have to arrange for accommodation and ground transportation.
Set for your conference. You do an annual conference which you go through different islands.
As a matter of fact,
St. Lucia is host country this year.
Well, just to be clear, we actually do 4 major conferences every year. So we do, the first conference is indeed, this one in St. Lucia is human resource, corporate communications, customer service, all in one. So we have a common theme that when we do the tracks and so on. So we have a theme that would apply to all of those areas: human resource management, corporate communications or public relations, customer service. We have that in March in St. Lucia at the Bay Gardens Hotel from March 18th to the 20th. So regional participation, we're partnering with the local Chamber of Commerce in terms of special discounted rates for locals, national organizations, practitioners, etc. And just to put it in context, we have our premier conference, which is the CEOs and Leadership Conference in May, and that will be this year in Puerto Rico. We have our engineering conference, which is our largest conference. This year will be in St. Martin, and our renewable energy and smart grid conference this year will be in Cayman Islands. Wow. So we're all over the region every year with 4 conferences, of which the HR, corporate communications, customer service is the first conference. Hosted in St. Lucia this year from March 18th to the 20th.
Listen, we need a whole day sit down with you because there's so much to learn and understand from here. But how can persons, now that they've gotten wind, if they want to keep abreast, how can they follow everything?
Right. We have our website, www.CARILEC.org. For persons who have an interest in energy transitioning, as I mentioned, there's the individual membership category that's available. Conference, we have a special discounted rate for local practitioners. So anybody interested in, and the thing is, this conference coming up is not really about energy. It's about the support areas of HR, corporate communications, customer service, and that applies across the board. So the themes will be addressing of psychological safety and recruitment practices and performance management apply across all sectors. That is why we are partnering with the Chamber of Commerce, and we have practitioners already registered from all sectors. Retail sector, banking sector, it really doesn't matter. When you're talking about HR, it's customer service, it's really the same core principles, So persons, practitioners of interest, students, academics who have an interest in those areas can register for the conference and attend very information-rich, exciting presentations, panel discussions, etc.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Bertain, thank you very much. Well, and there you have it. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were inspired in some way or the other. And let's do this again tomorrow, right here for another DBS This Morning. We'll have 3 features again tomorrow. I hope you'll join us then.